Oh, you're not ready to hear this. You're not ready to lean into an uncomfortable conversation.
Welcome back. We are back, and we are back with a team. Whoa, it feels so good to be back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. ESB presents to you Uncomfortable Conversations with your boy. Kicking it with KEEF is back once again, and I'm back with a team. I'm not back alone. I'm not, baby brother's doing his thing, but I'm here with the squad, ESB. First and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, please like, subscribe, comment on all things ESB. Can we please get ESB in the chat right now flooded? I need ESB flooded in the chat before we get anything going, ladies and gentlemen. ESB flooded in the chat. I need the hashtag on Twitter. I need it commented on Instagram. I need it flooding all over, ladies and gentlemen, or else we're not going to have an uncomfortable conversation. We're going to be the perfect fan, the fan that I'm looking for. But we'll get into that in a few moments. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the kitchen. This right here, as my lovely producer, Mr. Gorilla, would love to present to you the kitchen. I need you, Mr. Gorilla. Look at this. Oh, we're going to have a conversation. Mr. Gorilla, by the way, Mr. Gorilla, 17-time Oscar Award producer, okay, is setting y'all up for a great show. It's not just me here. You guys don't know who Mr. Gorilla is, but trust me, you will. Thank you, Mr. Gorilla. Appreciate you. This right here is called the kitchen. This is where things get real hot, ladies and gentlemen. So I advise anybody in the chat, at any point, you want to have the uncomfortable conversation with me and not leave me here talking by myself for an hour. That chair that's right there, see that little chair with the nice little cup of coffee so you can like settle into the mood while we have this beautiful conversation? That chair's for you. The link is in the description. Hit DM ESB, DM Rich, and that's how you join this uncomfortable conversation, because it's not just me. We can have any guest at any moment because that's how ESB rolls. The real fans. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into anything, we're not in the kitchen just yet. We're not there yet. I want to let everybody know what's going on at ESB, because ESB is making movements, boys and ladies and girls and men of all ages. ESB is on another level right now, okay? We got shows every week for you. It's not just uncomfortable conversations. We just debuted an episode yesterday for the ladies and the Yankee fans, okay? And don't forget, we got shows for everybody throughout the whole week. Like, we literally got a show coming up this Friday called Extra Innings, where Met fans and Yankee fans all alike come together. They come together and they get to vent. They get to talk about this situation, that situation. Extra Innings on X, literally X. That's where you're going to find us. Shout out to the fellas at ESB. Appreciate y'all. Thank you, Mr. Gorilla. Mr. Gorilla, why don't you let the folks know about our Met space that's coming tomorrow, which is called Queens Boulevard. Thank you, Mr. Gorilla. Appreciate that. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is normally at 5 o'clock on Thursdays, but tomorrow, a little life stuff in the way. So we're going to get started around game time, maybe a little bit after 7:30, maybe 8. We'll announce it on the X page, but we're going to have our Twitter space tomorrow. Again, ESB is making movements, okay? And also, guys, don't forget, this upcoming Monday, ESB has a crazy giveaway. If you want to support the channel, you get rewarded. And this is what we're talking about. The 500 subscriber giveaway, you getting a David Cone card, all right? Former Met, former Yankee. As we get into the show, Mr. Gorilla will eventually let you guys know the details of how to win this amazing prize. So, guys, ESB is where it's at. I need ESB flooded in the comments. I need everybody to understand this is not just a me show. This is an ESB show, all right? We see real, we hear real, and we speak real here, all right? Don't forget, if you don't know ball, this is where you got to be, all right? I'm your mother's favorite Met fan, and this is why I'm your mother's favorite Met fan. We're going to get into some topics. Now, I just want to let everybody know what uncomfortable conversations are. This is not just to do the Frank the Tank stuff. This is not to let everybody know how much this is something that bothers me. We're going to be positive just as much as we're going to be negative. We're going to talk about things you don't ever get to hear talk about. You could go and tap into some radio station and hear about how guys are fortifying their birth certificates. That's cool, whatever. Nobody cares about that. But you could definitely come and have an uncomfortable conversation. Sit with me in the kitchen while we cook up some nice gourmet salmon, you know, and we're interrogating each other over some beautiful, beautiful green tea. But that's up to you if you're brave enough. If there's somebody in the comments that's brave enough, we could go to the kitchen, because tonight we're going to have three beautiful topics. Now, lately, the Mets season has been quite confusing. It's been very good at some points, and it's been very head-scratching at some other points. Case in point tonight, I believe we're losing. Shout out to Brett Beatty. He hit a ball that landed in the orange man's office, so I appreciate him down in D.C. But with that being said, you know, we're not winning the game. Hopefully we can win the series. But it's been a kind of, hopefully we do this, hopefully we could do that, right? So shout out to all the Met fans in the chat. Can I get an LFGM in the chat along with the ESBs in the chat, please? Thank you very much. And thank you for showing love to the channel on ESB. There's some conversations I want to have about the New York Mets, all right? So we're going to kick things off. The first ever episode on ESB about uncomfortable conversations. We're going to get a little hot and heavy, all right? This is going to get a little intense. So if Mr. Gorilla can help me out, I need you to bring up number one, the most wanted person right now in Queens. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Eric Chavez. Last seen wearing a Mets uniform near Washington, D.C. in a gray away uniform. All right? If you see this man, you need to contact ESB NYM immediately, because let's talk about why Eric Chavez is even talked about, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that. Ladies and gentlemen, it seems like Eric Chavez has been talked about too much. Too much. Some people will tell me, no, he needs to get fired. He's not doing his job. Him and Jeremy Barnes, we need a better hitting approach. We need all this. This has to change. What are they doing in the farm? Why can't they hit with runners in scoring position? They only hit for power, hit for average. Honestly, I'm going to be honest with you guys. If you're the baseball fan that's at home wondering why the hitting coach isn't fixing guys making a gazillion of dollars because maybe they're not qualified, maybe one guy went to like some junior college that may or may not be anywhere on the map of baseball, and he's just a really smart guy and just figured it out how to be on a major league roster to help major league hitters hit a baseball really, really far. Or there's just some underlining infielder that really just was okay for most of his career. Nothing special, nothing bad, just an okay player that gets a job just like many other veterans do in this league. Then I'll be honest with you. You're scapegoating. Met fans, why do we scapegoat? We need somebody to blame. We need to talk about it. We need to get someone fired all the time. We need to hold someone accountable all the time. So I'm holding you accountable, Met fans, because honestly, we need to tell the honest truth here. And the uncomfortable conversation is a hitting coach does not matter when you have a payroll almost nearing $400 million. It should be on the bottom of the list. This man may or may not be doing his job correctly, but honestly, if he's the reason the Mets missed the playoffs, is he truly the main reason? Think about it. What does Eric Chavez really need to do for this team? Honestly, does he really need this team to hit with runners in scoring position for his job to stay safe? Does he? Or does the guy getting paid near $50 million a year need to do his job? Because I don't think I need Eric Chavez or Jeremy Barnes to tell Juan Soto how to hit the ball or how he wants them to hit the ball. But he may change their approach. But I think at some point, if I'm telling you to not, walk in traffic, and you kind of still walk in traffic, and you wonder why you end up in the ER. Whose fault is it? Is it mine? No. Eric Chavez doesn't get paid probably nearly as much as maybe Brett Beatty. And if his tactics or his preparation truly meant something to the Mets, then I think he would probably sit there and say, it's not working. Maybe we should revert to something else. But I think it is working, because I actually think if you take the runners in scoring positions shit aside and you just move it to a little corner, the Mets offense is pretty darn good. They're about to have, I think, they're nearing maybe 5 guys with 20 home runs. How many years have we said that? And if you disagree, the door for the kitchen is available. Me and Mr. Gorilla are waiting for anybody to join. But if Eric Chavez is the sole reason for your frustration with this team, then I think you're looking for a scapegoat. And I think many Met fans choose to do that when they don't want to put the blame where it needs to be put. Eric Chavez should not be the reason why you're upset about maybe a guy hitting 220, but yet he finishes the year with 20 home runs and maybe 60, 70 RBIs. I don't think Eric Chavez is the reason my number 3 hitter is about to have maybe 40 home runs and maybe 85 RBIs. I honestly don't think that's the reason, because if you take away some of the heroics, because I feel like this team has more heroes than what it should have. They don't really have consistency. They have heroes. They like to play hero ball. If you play basketball, you know what I'm talking about. They want to take over. They want to be the superstar. And that's fine. We have a few of them. We got Soto, got Pete, got Lindor. Even at times, maybe a younger player take over. And it just like rage hot for a week. We don't really have consistency enough. So that's kind of why the runners in scoring position numbers are kind of flawed. But truthfully, over the last week and a half, the Mets with 2 outs have been incredible. You've seen a really good offense. So there's parts of the year where you're looking at what this offense can do. This offense is under the tutelage of Eric Chavez and Jeremy Barnes, and you're like, damn, I like what I'm seeing. Now, all of a sudden, Met fans want to scapegoat the next situation, which is the pitching, which they should. Which they absolutely should, because the Mets as an organization have totally become a pitching organization since the dawn of time. If the Mets don't pitch, they don't go anywhere. Case in point, last year in the division series, yeah, we had opportunities, but we couldn't pitch. We couldn't get 3 outs against the Dodgers last year. We truly couldn't, without a walk happening. But here we are a year later, where a lot of inconsistencies, but more inconsistencies on the pitching side. Now you're probably saying, Keith, David Stearns gets this guy. David Stearns gets that guy. These guys are hurt. The pitching can't hold up. We need to get the kids. We'll get to that. And you're right. But the offense all year has been ripped apart to shreds. And at the end of the year, it's probably going to be one of the better offenses in the National League when you look at the ending numbers. Now, at times, could it be better? Yes. But overall, if this is the guy that once he gets fired at the end of the year, or if he says, I'm leaving the team, do you think many things are going to change next year? I think you get the same team next year, guys. Genuinely speaking. If there is someone in the chat or someone watching on YouTube, we got 210 here. Put those numbers up, please. Don't forget to like, subscribe. ESB, please, ladies and gentlemen. And I need ESBN, Jesus Christ. ESB flooded in the chat. If you think that's going to change anything, getting rid of this guy who's been wanted all year, literally to the point where he even responded to some tweets. This guy was being like savagely hunted for when the shortstop couldn't hit a curveball for about 2 months. And the right fielder, God forbid, a guy's on second base with the right fielder. You know what I'm saying? And these kids, honestly, if you want to look at something to blame him with, it's probably the production of the kids. But there's been instances where Beatty's been hot. There's been instances where Vientos has been hot, even though he's had 4 months of absolutely nothing, the middle of a donut. But thankfully, he's starting to hit now because we need him. Even the situation with Francisco Alvarez. Oh, he got away from Chavez. Guys, he came back to the team. If anybody thinks he doesn't talk to Chavez, it's crazy. The poor guy can't even speak like 2 sentences of English. Of course he's talking to Chavez. Not saying to defend Chavez. I'm just saying you're pointing your finger at a guy who means nothing. In a grand scheme of things, can you name the hitting coach for the Dodgers last year? Can you name the hitting coach for any of the championship teams for the Astros? Hell, I mean, there's been so many Yankee teams, I can't even think of a hitting coach. I feel like the Yankees recycle hitting coaches every 2-3 years. Chavez has been here probably a little too long, sure. But does it matter? Genuinely, does it matter? Is it something that's going to stop you from watching the team? Because let me tell you, the minute you take a break from this man and his offense, you look at your phone and you see 7 runs. This guy hit a home run. This guy hit a double. And you're like, ooh, I want to watch the Mets. And then your shameless ass goes right back to SNY at 7:10 watching the Mets. And they go about 2-3 innings with no runs. And you're like, Chavez. We got to stop scapegoating the wrong people here. Okay, this team was put together a certain way by a certain individual that we'll get into in a few moments. But guys, if you want to talk more about Eric Chavez, please don't forget, the kitchen is available. You can step into my kitchen. You can have a nice cup of tea. You can let me and Mr. Gorilla know you want to come and enjoy this beautiful setting of interrogation. We got the nice graffiti. Look, somebody even wrote ESB. This is crazy. Whoever did this, I'll tell you, they spent a lot of time. But if no one wants to have the uncomfortable conversation, no worries. As long as you like and retweet. Oh, we're in the kitchen, Mr. Gorilla. You got to give me a heads up.
Listen,
ESB MVP, Joe Pugliese. What's up, Papa?
Hey, Keefe. Listen, I can't stay long because it's baby's bedtime and he's in a mood. And Alonso just got a 2 RBI double. So it looks, no, 1 RBI. Oh, I don't know how Soto didn't score there. But 5-2 Mets, 5-2 Nationals as the Mets have 2 runners in scoring position. Listen, I can't stay long. Like I said, I got baby duty tonight. I just want to welcome you on behalf of ESB, on behalf of us Met guys, on behalf of the whole channel. We really are excited that you're here, doing your thing, talking Mets baseball the way you know how, and the way that only Keefe can bring. So I don't have any topics to talk to you about, but I just wanted to be the first one to welcome you officially to the channel. We really appreciate you being here. We're really excited for it. And I think everybody in the chat right now, the numbers are speaking for themselves. People want to see you talk. People want to see you talk about this team. And like I said, we're so excited for you to be here, my man. And just hope you have a good show. And we continue, and this goes for a long time.
It will. Unfortunately, we're blaming babies about not joining the topic of discussion tonight. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem. I can't. I got bath time. I got very grumpy 5-month-old right now, and I got an even grumpier wife that it's my turn to do bedtime, and I'm neglecting those duties at the moment to welcome you. So
no worries. Well, the baby's upset because Kodai Senga can't pitch, but let's blame Eric Chavez. Let's do the Eric Chavez thing. But I appreciate the kind words. Thank you guys for lending me a nice olive tree and olive branch, excuse me. And honestly, this is what I was looking for. A nice little team atmosphere so that we can you scratch my back, I scratch yours, and we can keep the ball rolling. Let's grow ESB to the moon.
Absolutely. And listen, I'll drop in from time to time. I'm sure I'll be in this chair quite often with you. So and it looks like McNeil just had a 2 RBI double, so it's 5-4 Nationals.
So with it being 5-4, I expect no one to complain about Eric Chavez tonight.
The heart of the order just produced there in a big way. So, but listen, Keith, have a great show. Thank you for all the help and all of what you're going to do for us. And then I'm sure we're going to talk again soon.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Joe Pugliese, ladies and gentlemen. Can I get a Joe in the chat? Please flood the chat with the letters JOE, please, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. So nobody else came in the kitchen. That's fine. The link is in the comments. If you want to join me in the kitchen, we can have this talk. But I don't expect anybody to come into the kitchen right now. Don't come into the kitchen. Don't do it now. Because we can't talk about Eric Chavez right now. We're about to take the lead. God bless. Everything's good. So tonight is not about Eric Chavez. But it's all good because we're talking about Met fans. So we're going to move on to topic number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Because topic number 2, we're going to go a little while on. And if I could, Mr. Gorilla, can you let everybody know who else is wanted in these streets? Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Met fans are wanted in these streets. We need to talk about you guys. This is a very uncomfortable conversation because I'm talking about every one of y'all. Every one of y'all. Every single one of y'all. Shameless MFers. Because this fan base, I'm going to tell y'all right now, you are no different than the Yankee fan base. You're the same people. You just wear orange and a different shade of blue. Same people. Same people. You can make fun of the Yankee fans all you want. You can make fun of the Yankee players all you want. You could talk about Aaron Boone all you want. You could talk about Brian Cashman all you want. On this side of town, we talk about David Stearns all we want. We talk about Carlos Mendoza all we want. We talk about how much this team is flawed here, there, upside down. We didn't do enough. We didn't trade. We didn't get this player. We didn't call up this guy. Sounds familiar? Sounds like an uptown conversation, right? You're no different. But you like to tell everyone you're different. You love to tell everyone about the new gimmicks, right? You like to do that because we're not dumb. We're not dumb. But look, I got backyard baseball shit going on. I got some fucking blue, purple, furry animal that we're gonna ride with, right? Ever since this day, we're all this hoopla, right? You had the hot tour girl in the park. But yet, when things go awry, when things don't go the way you want it to go, right? You point your fingers to Steve Cohen. You point your fingers to David Stearns. You point your fingers to the manager. You're pointing your fingers to batting coaches that have no effing purpose. You spent $800 million and you're blaming a batting coach for changing him. Guys, let's be for real. Baseball is a difficult sport. If Eric Chavez truly changed Juan Soto, you'll see it maybe in year 3. But yet he's still going to have 40 home runs. It's just a bad year on a new team adjusting. All right? It happened to Eric Chavez. It happened to Carlos Beltran. It happened to Francisco Lindor. This happens here. This is who we are. But Met fans tend to forget, we got the better stadium. We don't complain like them. They live in their bubble. Let's make fun of Anthony Volpe. Why? Why is that more important than wondering why this team, who had a 21 over 500 record, is not near that at all? This team had the division. This team had a lead, a 4.5 game lead against their division rivals. And guess what this team did? They fumbled against one of the worst Brave teams I've ever seen. They fumbled against the Orioles. They fumbled against so many inferior teams. They're beating up on one now, but they always beat up on the Nationals. No one takes the Nationals serious. But when this team needs to do the damn thing, they can't. They can't. Once they are expected to do something, they don't do it, and you blame everybody under the sun. You start telling me about analytics, that it's too much analytics. Sounds like somebody I know uptown. You start telling me they're not playing good enough defense. Sounds like somebody I know uptown. All they do is hit home runs. Sounds like somebody I know uptown. Tell me I'm crazy. They traded for a whole bunch of bullpen pieces, and about maybe one of them haven't shit themselves yet. That's David Bednar. And Gregory Soto hasn't shit himself. But all the other bullpen arms, they shat themselves. All I heard at the trade deadline, we got the best bullpen, better than them. Our bullpen got this. Our bullpen got that. They got this guy. This guy sucks. It's been bullpen fucking hell with the Mets. But we got a better bullpen than them. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? This team right now has the opportunity to go on a run and take over. There is truly a opportunity for this team to shut up everybody. And that's a real uncomfortable conversation. But they keep reverting back into their bad habits. Let me tell you something. That series against Atlanta that's coming up, they have to sweep them. I'm sorry. 2 out of 3 is not good enough. You could tell me I'm crazy. No, they got to sweep them. You got to pay them back. I'm sorry. Because we got Philadelphia right after, then Miami. Miami, every Met fan knows about the Miami series. It doesn't matter what Miami is. We all know what Miami brings when it comes to the Mets and Miami come the end of the baseball season. Everyone knows what it is. I got more confidence in the Mets against the Phillies than I do against the Miami Marlins. And I tweeted it out the other day. The Mets should win 10 out of the next 15. And they're going to do it. But guess what? September, go look at the schedule. Go look at the schedule. By the way, if you want some of the smoke, the kitchen's on. We haven't put anything on the stove yet because no one wants to come and have some gourmet fish. Anyways, but every time things go wrong, you start acting like a Yankee fan. You start moaning. You want this guy fired. You're wondering why we can't do this right, why we can't do that right. You're spending the big bucks like homies uptown. You're doing everything correct. But we ain't winning the chips. We're not winning the divisions. We're a wild card team. We're just a wild card team. We should have won the division this year. We still have an opportunity to do so, but it's literally in front of us. Just like Mr. Boone says, it's right in front of us. Take a look at the schedule, ladies and gentlemen. You got 3 games against the Nationals. You got 3 away games. Well, we're doing the Nationals now. You got 3 more away games in Atlanta. You got 3 home games against the Phillies, 4 in Philadelphia. That's where the season is, by the way. You got 4 games against the Marlins. You got 3 road games in Detroit, one of the best teams in baseball. You got 3 games in Cincinnati, the team that is on this team's neck for the last wildcard spot. You got 3 home games against the Texas Rangers, who we may or may not face Jacob deGrom if he has a pair. You got 3 home games against the San Diego Padres. We all know how that series goes with the Mets. You got 3 more against the Nationals back at Citi Field. You got 3 games in Wrigley Field, and every Met fan knows about that. And then we wrap up with 3 more games in Miami. I'm going to tell you right now, that Cincinnati series and that Philadelphia series in Philadelphia, that's it. That's the season right there, guys. That's it. That's where all the Met fans who like to say, oh, the park is filled, go to the park that night. Who cares about work the next day? Go support your team. That's the night. I don't want to hear nothing about firing this person, trading for this prospect, not calling up this. No, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Because this team, at the beginning of the year, Vegas said this team is going to be legit. This team was, I believe, it was in the top 5 of World Series winners of the odds. And right now, I don't know about all that. JoJo says, shout out to my guy KEEF, but probably sweeping us. But you probably sweeping us. You got Wentz, Fetty, and Strider. My brother, we lost a game that you started Cookie Carrasco, and we literally scored 6 runs off him, and we lost the game. I don't want to hear nothing from you. I don't want to hear nothing from you. It's a mental game when we go to Atlanta. It's a mental game. And you know what? You could come into the kitchen and let me know about this because you love talking about Met fans, my brother. And we could do it. We could do it right now because we could call all of them out. But the point is that the thing about Met fans is that, oh, we're beating up on the Nationals. Boo, boo, boo. Oh, yeah. Do it in Philadelphia. That's when it matters. Do it when it matters. Do it when you tell the whole world how big your stick is. Let everybody know what rod you got walking into October. And let me tell you something. The Yankee fans, they're going to huff and puff the same way you huffing and puffing. They hit like 20 home runs last night off a team that doesn't even belong in the league half the time. In a little baseball park, in a little league park. But at the weekend, they got to play Boston. You ask any Yankee fan what series they want to win, the Rays series or the Boston series. And I know Mr. Gorilla knows what series he wants to win because he's shaking his head to me right now. You don't see him, but I do. Straight up. Straight up. You got one of the best shortstops in baseball who even in one of his down years should be the best shortstop in baseball or one of the best, or at least the best in the National League. And yes, he got voted to the All-Star game. Yay. Yay, whoopee. But guess what? It's not good enough. I need that shortstop to do what he does best and be the MVP of the team, and that's when the Mets are at their greatest. And he's starting to do it now. But I hold him to such a high regard that, God forbid, I say anything wrong about him. The Met fans, you can't say anything wrong about him. But you got to hold these guys to a championship standard. Enough of the hugging and kissing. Enough about telling everybody this is a family. We can't do documentaries throughout the year no more. It's done. It's a wrap. Who cares? I don't care about some behind-the-scenes footage about something that the Mets put together, because the Mets are not going to show you the uncomfortable truth. The Mets are not going to put a camera in front of your face when a guy is going 3 for his last 48. You're not going to see that. But you know what? You see it when you turn on SNY. But yet, you want to fire this guy. You want to trade this guy. You want this guy from this other team. You want to call up this prospect. The problem is right in front of you. And guess what? Another scapegoat that we like to talk about is the manager. The manager's in his second year. In his second year, he is not meant to be perfect. He is not meant to get it right 95% of the time. He is meant to do better than he did last year. And I'm going to tell you right now, he has less weapons in his arsenal to work with this year than he did last year. And we want the guy fired? You guys are going to turn into all the Aaron Boone haters that have been suffering with Aaron Boone for the last 8 years. Oh, it's Aaron Boone's fault. When a few years ago, let's be honest, the Yankees could have traded for Soto and still signed Cody Bellinger and had them both in the outfield, and they would have had one of the best outfields, and they didn't do it. When they're the big bad Yankees and they do it, let me tell you something, the big bad Mets could have went and got more. They could have got Alex Bregman. They could have put Beatty at second base. They could have had McNeil be the platoon player. They could have done all these things. Why? Some tax? Some bullshit tax? If you believe that, then I got a bridge to sell you. Let me tell you right now. And the reason why we don't do enough isn't because we don't have any money. Isn't because we got a bad owner. Isn't because we don't have a good front office. It's because the Mets are content with what they did in 2024. And that ideology has to go out the window. That ideology has to go. What happened in 2024 was a beautiful thing. It's 2025. This is a much better ball club on their best day. On their best day, because I remember many, many games last year where the Mets needed to be bailed out by that shortstop. We don't have to do that this year. You do not need the shortstop to do that this year. You need the first baseman, the left fielder, the right fielder, whoever's at third, the second baseman, to just be consistent. This team is way too talented to be out here defending the last wild card spot. But yet, who's to blame? It's the players. It's the players. Don't give me no infrastructure. Don't give me this. It's the players. And the most frustrating part about this is that this group of players can be called upon for many other reasons other than baseball. Who's the leader, the shortstop? Will we have the first baseman next year? The right fielder, will he have a better year moving forward as a New York Met? You know, how far along the lines do we have to go until Brandon Nimmo's a DH? He left the game today with neck stiffness. We have no consistency from the catching position because one of them can never stay healthy. The third baseman is a revolving door when we probably know who is the best third baseman. Maybe Mark Vientos is best suited for the DH, but we don't know. We don't know because the future is so bleak. The future is, we went and got a center field at the deadline and he's been okay. Has he been miles better than the one we had before? We don't know. We genuinely do not know. But with that being said, we're going to get to our last wanted person, but we're going to take an intermission. All right. I will be right back, ladies and gentlemen, but stay tuned because we have some cool news from ESB. So give me 1 second and I'll be right back.
They wanted cool news from the ESB. You got it here. This is your guy, Gorilla, and this is representing Empire State of Baseball. Yo, shout out to my guy, KEEF. Like KEEF just said, just throw the hashtags ESB, the hashtag LGMs. We're having a hot show. We got 287 in the building. So while KEEF is doing his thing, let's go over some of the things that's going on over the Empire State of Baseball world. Shout out to the whole chat out here. We see JoJo in the building. What's going on, JoJo? Mendoza, Chavez, Stearns, top 3 scapegoats this year for the Mets. Odd villains in the building on their best team. They are a team of God. Chris Torres here. I love my ankles. They're still intact. Shout out to Chris Torres. And shout out to all of you again. We're closing on 300. Make sure to smack the like. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Like Keith said earlier, we got a lot of cool stuff happening with ESB. We have an episode that you guys don't want to miss. This coming Monday, 8 o'clock p.m., we are going to reveal the winner of our subscriber giveaway. That's 500 plus subscriber giveaway for episode number 138. For the contest rules, just go through it real quickly while Keith's away. Just make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube. Make sure to like the video of our last episode. That was episode number 137 on Monday. And make sure you leave a comment on episode number 137. Now, there is a comment to use. Just made it easy for you guys. Use hashtag ESB500. That'll enter you into the contest to win the David Cohn baseball. Now, no purchase is necessary. All entries are free. 1 entry per account, and live show comments will not be accepted as a proper entry. The contest is going to end come midnight Sunday going into Monday, and then Monday, August the 25th, is going to be the reveal of our winner for that episode number 138. Keith mentioned earlier he's got a space that he started hosting last week, did a hell of a job. It's called Queens Boulevard. Queens Boulevard goes live Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern time every week. Tomorrow is going to be a little bit of a delay start time. We'll keep you guys posted on socials of when Queens Boulevard goes live, but it will be going live at some point tomorrow, most likely around when the Met game starts. So we will keep you posted on that on socials. And we have another space on Fridays called Extra Innings at 2 p.m. on Fridays, hosted by your guy talking right now. But also, all the members of the ESB team are welcome to jump into the host seats. We listened to Keith last week. He was fantastic. Sierra, who's the host of ESB's The Clubhouse, which goes live on Tuesday nights. So a lot of cool things happening over at Empire State of Baseball. So, folks, again, stay subscribed to us. Look out on our social medias for all announcements. You can follow us on all socials, Instagram at Empire State of Baseball. We have 7,600 followers and counting. A lot of hilarious reels. You can give us a follow there, Empire State of Baseball. Give X a follow as well at ESB Podcast, 3,300 and counting there. We also have a subsidiary with X that is that is appropriate for this show. It's ESB NYM. Make sure to give the whole team a follow. Of course, our guy Keith at Kicking It with Keith, at Corey Favs, at JR Pugs, at Gorilla. I don't know. I just made it up. I hope it's available. But make sure to give us a follow all over the social medias. And again, as I mentioned before, make sure to subscribe to YouTube and be subscribed because you got to participate in this contest. David Cohn was a hell of a baseball player for both the Mets and the Yankees, so you guys want to check it out. Come Monday, we'll do the reveal, and let's get through your comments. We got a lot of comments going down right now. Let's take a look at the comments. Yeah, I don't know who. Like everybody keeps dropping this guy in here. I have no idea who this guy is. But yeah, shout out to all you folks in here. I don't know who Rich is. Damn, I thought Mr. Gorilla was Edge. Well, there again, not Edge here, but Edge was in the building. I thought it was you, Macho, since you like sticking your chest out. All right. Now we got the hashtag ESB500. Now we appreciate that, but those comments got to go over to episode number 137 comments. That video's already up. That video's already up there. So make sure to go over there, throw the comments up, and that will enter you into the contest. You got to make sure you're subscribed, use that comment, like that video, and you're going to be in there. I just found a new nickname. Sure, yeah. That they call me Gorilla, and that's because I'm like Gorilla Monsoon back here for all my wrestling fans. I'm in the back, Keith's in the front, and that's gonna be it for your few second station ID. Let's bring back Keith and continue uncomfortable conversations.
Mr. Gorilla, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I mean, I don't know where I would be without Mr. Gorilla, ladies and gentlemen. He is 7-time Oscar nominated award-winning producer. He's done some incredible work. If you don't know, now you know. You know, he's been on Broadway. He's a big cinematic fan. He actually loves wine. So, ladies, I think he's taken, by the way. But just letting y'all know, like, the man is just a man of many talents, honestly, truly. He has incredible hair, by the way. You can't see it because he don't let you see it. You got to earn it, honestly. So, Mr. Gorilla barely lets anybody, in his world. But Just letting y'all know he's here to help me and I'm here to help him. So, all right. So we went over Eric Chavez, right? Because, you know, it ain't really his big fault, but everyone loves to do a scapegoat because Met fans, who we also blame, are pretty fraudulent because they're no different than Yankee fans. Honestly, you're turning into Yankee fans. You're spoiled, you're entitled, and you want to ring so bad that you kind of lose who you are. Your entity as a human being goes right out the window. So Met fans are just as much to blame as Eric Chavez, in my humble, honest opinion. We're going to get to the last topic as we spend the last 20 minutes talking about this, and this may be a little deep, and it may take some days to understand what I'm trying to say. I just finished blaming the players, genuinely blaming the players. I think the players can be better. At the end of the day, the players are the ones who are on the field. And truthfully, I think the players that are on the field right now are good enough. I do. I think that they can be a whole lot better. Yes. I think they could be a whole lot worse. Yes. And I think that's the problem. They're very volatile with their production. I think that's across baseball. But I also think with this team specifically, when it's going bad, it's okay. Everything's fine because we believe in the process. And it's real frustrating, right? Because sometimes you kind of hear the same thing over and over again, and you're wondering if it's Groundhog. I have something I use all the time. It's Groundhog Day. You're kind of wondering if you're like listening to a recording. You're kind of wondering if someone just doesn't want you to understand what's really happening. You're kind of listening to a robot sometimes, right? And there's some core values to this organization that's really special. I called out the fans, but number one, this organization without this group of fans wouldn't be shit. I'm going to be honest with you. So that's my way of saying, I'm sorry, but you still ain't shit. But the fans are beautiful people. I've met so many good Met fans. I've met so many intelligent Met fans. I've met so many bad Met fans, and I've met so many controversial Met fans. I can't tell you the endless amount of Met fans that just fill every single category, right? You got some Met fans that do content creation that don't even know it's content creation. You got some Met fans who, for whatever reason, love to like do the meme stuff, and that's all they're good for. They don't really have a real baseball conversation. You got some Met fans that are really good cheerleaders. Like, we don't even need the Queens crew at this point. You could just go to their tweets and see how good they shake the pom-poms, truthfully. But then again, you also got these Met fans that are just like doom and gloom. And then you got the Met fans that are the perfect fans. I love the perfect fans, by the way. They are my favorite Met fans there is, because you can learn a lot from the Met fans because nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong. Even when things are going right, they're just glamorous. And I don't understand how we got to a point where at the beginning of every year and at the end of every year, this fan base is so consistent in the same situation over and over and over again. They want the core broken up. They want kids called up, and they want to trade for players that are not from this organization. And it's a never-ending cycle. Spend all the big money. We got Steve Cohen, yada, yada, yada. But then something happened in October 2023. The Mets hired a man named by many, well, mainly his mother and father, I guess, David Stearns, president of baseball operations, Mr. Pobo. Now, Mr. Pobo is wanted, ladies and gentlemen, last seen in Japan. And we're going to get into the Japan part, but a lot of people claim this guy to be boy genius. A lot of people claim this guy to be the baseball god or whatever. There's so many nicknames for this guy. Now, off rip, I genuinely think this guy's fascinating. I genuinely think he is the one piece of this organization that doesn't fit. I'm going to tell you why. He's not an ass shaker. He's not, goo goo gaga over the Mets. He doesn't care about the back pages. He genuinely has a plan in place, and he could give two rotten apples what you think about it. Okay? He is the shot caller. You call it whatever you want. Unless the owner steps in, he's the end-all, be-all. And let me tell you something. He loves letting you know how perfect this organization is. But when this organization has been built off of so many dramatic failures, so many dramatic comebacks, so many dramatic moments, and never finding any pocket of consistency, you would think that the boy genius would possibly have a different route for this Mets organization. An organization he grew up loving. So he understands the crazy perfect fans. He understands the horrible negative Nancy fans. He clearly doesn't have social media, and thankfully he doesn't. He doesn't need that stress. So what's the plan? What is so different about the Mets under David Stearns' tutelage? Oh, the first thing everyone wants to talk about is a pitching lab. I think the pitching lab has done a very good job for pitchers in this organization, not yet on the major league level. I think we never had that before. I think it makes them better. It makes them more attractable for teams who want to come and acquire their services. And I just think it helps the growth of a prospect. So I give them a lot of props for that. We didn't have that before. Apparently now we're building a hitting lab, or we're in the early stages of having one. It's like the first year or second year, and it's starting to develop into something. Shout out to JoJo with the comment, Sleepy Stearns. We'll get to that. So those are two really good things. And one other good thing is something that Met fans will never truly appreciate because we live in New York, is David Stearns knows when to make a move that seemingly does not work, but needs to be fixed or adjusted, right? He's really good at atoning some mistakes. But usually, in the grand scheme of things, those mistakes shouldn't be repeated, right? Like, we shouldn't be sitting here saying, man, can't wait to DFA this guy. But he brought him. But he brought him in. Like Jared Young. What was the purpose of Jared Young? Depth? That's it? You telling me there's no other human being in this league that could have provided what Jared Young provided to the Syracuse Mets and a little bit of playing time here? How about getting a guy with true experience or true numbers against whatever team? Nope. Let's try and be cute and go get a guy from a whole nother league that can possibly truly change the narrative of a platoon piece in a jam. You know, before I continue my rant, somebody wanted to come into the kitchen. Who do we have here, Mr. Gorilla? Somebody's in the kitchen. Who's in my kitchen? Oh, look who it is. It's Jeff Hardy.
What's up, Keith? How you doing today?
What's up, Jordan? Welcome to my kitchen.
I'm doing good today, and it's a pleasure to be in the kitchen today as well.
All right. So what do you got? Talk to me. What brings you into this kitchen? Is it anything I'm talking about?
Yep. You bringing up the David Stearns point. You just said he was currently last seen in Japan, where he's scouting out a potential future third baseman by the name of Munetaka Murakami, if I'm not mistaken. And personally, as much as this move is a dream for Mets fans out there, I don't think it's going to be the true game-changing piece with Brett Beatty continuing his offensive performances as number one. And number two, on that matter, I feel like Stearns also needs to, as much as it's going to be a hard one for him to hear, even though he's not going to be here, but it's just, you know what I mean? But he's going to have to try and deviate away from his usual plan of fixing pitchers, because you saw what happened with Nolan McLean against the Mariners. The prospects need to fully develop within our system as pitchers. I feel like as much as David Stearns does not like bringing up the kids, I feel like it is the potential right move for him and this organization moving forward, with both Brennan Sproat and Jonathan set to come up in the potential future. Now, is there a pitcher that he may find that could be generational that we love? Yes, but I feel like at this rate, it's a narrative that's been going on for years with him, especially during his time at the Brewers as well. And like I said, personally, I feel like it's a narrative that just kind of needs to stop, and the game is pretty much evolving these days. And I feel like calling up the prospects is the better move over sticking with his usual steps of trying to fix pitching overall.
Okay. Well, he'll tell you that the major league level is just fine and they need more work, and maybe it truly isn't their time. And then you're left with a long 2 or 3 weeks of the Mets needing a spark and they don't get it. And that's the frustration I have with this man, is that he may be smarter than all of us, genuinely smarter than you and me when it comes to the sport of baseball. But there is a feel factor. There is a urgency factor that I feel he lacks. And I understand not putting a prospect in a position that you need him to truly like kind of be the savior when he shouldn't be the savior. And we don't want that for our prospects, right? We truly want the players to do their job. But the problem is that David Stearns puts himself in a position with these pitchers where, you know, maybe if he would have signed somebody like in the offseason or the offseason before of true significance, way more than a 1 or 2 year little project deal, that way maybe we could sit here and say at least somebody other than David Peterson can go more than 6 innings. Kodai Senga was here before him. He has not performed to that capability in my eyes, right? Frankie Montas, big mistake, right? We should have kept Jose Quintana. Big mistake. Severino, you could ask maybe 10 people. Maybe 6 of them will tell you, yeah, we probably should have brought him back compared to what we have, right? Nolan McLean is in-house development prospect. We can't really put him in that picture. We went out and got Griffin Canning. Low risk, high reward. So it seems like the guy tries to put paper over the cracks so he could then wait for his moment, whenever it is, to tell you, oh, we're fine, we're good, we're going to get there at the end because I believe in this team. And this team goes on a run. And they go on another run. And there goes the division. And now you're fighting for the life of the wild card. See, last year, if we call a spade, the Mets pitched better. But yet, they didn't have the offense they had this year. I think the offense is way better this year, but they're just not as clutch. I think last year they were more clutch. But it also took that the shortstop turned into an absolute MVP to kind of save his ass. But remember, last year was a developmental year, or a year where we were trying to figure out things, right? This year was not that. And he went into this year with that same sort of mindset of, we'll get by with what we got. This is something that could provide us innings. It never was anything like, yo, this is the guy. And it seems like if you're not under the age of 27, he's not going to target you. He's not going to target you for a lengthy deal, which, all right, fine. It's good. But, you know, we could have gone after a few pitchers in the offseason that, yeah, maybe didn't fit his profile of pitcher, but would understand what October baseball is, what September baseball is, what getting through the dog days of August is. And it's quite frustrating when you just said yourself, oh, I want these pitchers to develop. Yeah, so do I. Absolutely. But I don't want them to be called upon to be a savior. Yeah, you saw what Nolan McLean did last week. It gave a huge jolt to this team. All of a sudden, everybody started pitching well. Well, Senga, not so much today, whatever. But all of a sudden, you as a Met fan sat there and said, wow, I like this team now. Did you not? No? Silence? Come on, Jeff. Well, the point is that after seeing Nolan McLean pitch, you got some sort of optimism as a Met fan, I'm assuming, correct?
Yep. It's optimistic for a factor right now, yes. I know it was only one start that he had, and he's got more coming up in the future, but it's just the fact that that behind the back play he made, Frankie Montas would not make in a million years, and they're paying him extreme amounts of money just to sit in the bullpen nowadays. And as much with Nolan McLean's development, we're just going to see how that plays out. No super factor can be made after one game, and it's just
fair enough.
It's just a matter of time before we could see how he truly performs. And I really want to see him develop because I really like his style with all the pitches he's got within his mechanics. There's not a lot of pitchers within our rotation that have that many pitches in their mechanics, and it's essentially based on how we approach with him and how he pitches throughout the rest of this year. And hopefully he can be a mainstream regular throughout next season if possible.
And would it shock you if he starts the year in the farm because maybe David Stearns wants him to develop more? It wouldn't shock me. But David Stearns We'll tell you we got some aging veteran on a cheap deal that'll get us through the months of April, months of May, months of June, and it's a whole lot of wordplay, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you, Jeff Hardy, for joining the kitchen. Looks like you're gonna go to like Astoria and rock out real hard.
Yeah, pretty much. Hawthorne Heights is kind of more my style, but yeah.
Okay. Hawthorne Heights, we're in there. Yeah, bruv.
Yeah.
And you have yourself a safe night, sir.
All right. Thank you very much for having me on, and have a good rest of your night. Go Mets.
You go Mets. Go Mets. Oh, my kitchen will never be the same after that, ladies and gentlemen. I am actually very happy he decided to pull up because he's a braver Met fan than some of you guys. I'm just letting y'all know. At least he decided to show his face, because sometimes we are looking for this guy to show his face. We got questions. He'll do a live stream here and there, but he doesn't answer the questions like I think he should answer the questions at times. I think he knows how to answer the questions where it leaves you asking more questions, or he knows how to answer them to keep you from asking any more questions, which is probably his job, is to probably lie to you. But as a fan, do you want to be lied to? Do you want to sit there and say, wow, I thought this, and now you're telling me this, and then 2 weeks later, this happens, but you just told me it wouldn't happen, Mr. Stearns. You're the genius, right? Just saying. Nathan Eovaldi could have been on this team. Why not? The Mets got money. Why not? Just saying. Jack Flaherty could have been on this team. Why not? The Mets got money. Jack Flaherty was offering himself to teams. I'm saying, is Griffin Canning better than any of those two? And I love Griffin Canning. It's no shade to Griffin Canning. Is Frankie Montas better than any of those two guys? Absolutely not. No. So I'm just saying. Shout out to Edge. He doesn't like being lied to. Neither do I. So I feel like you don't get a story. And then, you know, if you want to be the Homer Met fan, you want to sit there and say, well, David Stearns, you're the guy who's going to put this organization on the path of righteousness to win a World Series. The morals of this organization lie with you. So why don't I never feel connected to anything you do? I feel connected to the owner. I feel connected to the players. I don't really feel connected to anything this guy does, genuinely speaking. He's not bad at his job. He's very good at his job. I think his job is to lie confidently, but I think this guy has done a lot more good than bad, but I just don't understand. If the players don't do their job, he's going to sit there and tell you they are. And I just don't get it, because I'm not dumb. I'm not blind. The Mets are still losing, by the way. But anyways, point is that, you know, even to honor, you know, Pete Alonso, he's scouting some guys in Japan. You can't kill him for doing his job, but optics don't really scream really loud when the guy who's breaking the franchise home run record, it was in a, you know, contract dispute with you the offseason prior. You know, what are you looking for in Japan? It's not Pikachu. Just saying. So, just, you know, there's some conversations we need to have. People want to tell you that this guy is the greatest thing since sliced bread. He's the best thing that the organization ever did. He's serviceable at his job. Absolutely. But truly, the Mets can be a good organization, a straightforward organization, and tell you in like June, July, when those pitchers are doing great, oh, they still have markers they got to meet. Well, technically, that's not a lie for Nolan McLean or Brandon Sprout. Yeah, they needed more work. But he could have been like, listen, the second that we need to call them up, they will get the opportunity. We were under the assumption that they wouldn't get the opportunity. He leaves us like wanting for more. You know, David Stearns is like that one girl in high school who will probably tease you from, you know, sophomore year to senior year. And by the time you get to the prom and you think you have a chance, you don't. Because you've been teased for 2 years and you're wondering what happens. We've all been there. I know for a fact I've been there. And I know damn well for a fact Mr. Gorilla's been there. Because Mr. Gorilla has gray hair. All right? Just saying. Ladies and gentlemen, today has been a great opportunity for some uncomfortable conversations. We made an hour. We had former WWE superstar Jeff Hardy join the kitchen. We had CEO of ESB, Joe Pugliese, pull up and blame his child on why he could not have a conversation with me. On brand, by the way. We also had Corey Favs and Tom Wares Waspel not show up for work. Thank you. And Sierra, who's too good to talk to Puerto Ricans. So I appreciate that from the ESB team. Thank you to Mr. Gorilla for producing another star-studded episode on this amazing channel of ESB, Empire State of Baseball. We are not done, ladies and gentlemen. Every Wednesday, we're going to be here talking about everything no one else wants to talk about. Hell, maybe next week we look up birth certificates because apparently that's a thing now. But other than that, I'm very, very proud to be a part of this team. I'm very happy of the support in the chat. We have over 300 people watching me blabber for an hour. Honestly, you could have done something a lot better with your time, but you chose to hang with me. So that means a lot. I appreciate that, and I appreciate the team at ESB. And ladies and gentlemen, I would hope that more people want to join me in the kitchen because it's very hot. We're going to interrogate you. We're going to put the light right over your face, and we're going to ask you these questions. Jeff Hardy came in and kind of agreed with me. So next week, I want somebody to challenge me. Hopefully, it's a perfect fan. If you can, please make sure you send this link out to a Met fan who didn't get across to it for next week's episode. It'll be episode 2. Guys, do not forget, tomorrow we are doing a Twitter space nearing around game time, roughly a little bit after the first inning, roughly. We're going to probably talk about what's going on. It is called Queens Boulevard. All right. I will be there under the ESB NYM umbrella. So check us out there. This Friday, we have extra innings. If you want to talk about the Yankees and the Mets, we could talk about Jason Dominguez being a worse player than Brett Beatty. That'll be amazing. And yeah, don't forget, please, the 500 subscriber competition. You know, you get a gift. David Cohn signed baseball. It's pretty cool. That'll be this Monday, I believe. Hashtag ESB500. Please do not comment without following. Do not comment without liking the video. Guys, support the channel. These are great people. They brought me into their world. And honestly, I couldn't thank them ever much more. I never thought I'd be doing another live stream, but here we are. So we made it a little bit over the hour mark. I want to thank you all once again. We are ESB. And that's episode 1 in the books. See you next week, ladies and gentlemen.